Back in the day, when time was tight and the kitchen was the heart of the home, families knew how to make the most of what they had, crafting meals that were simple, satisfying, and often made in a flash. Today, we're bringing back those quick and comforting dishes that have stood the test of time, proving that delicious doesn't need to be complicated. Get ready to rediscover 30 forgotten recipes that you can whip up in 10 minutes or less. Creamed tuna on toast. Creamed tuna on toast is a dish that brings back memories of simpler times where creativity in the kitchen was key to getting a hearty meal on the table without breaking the bank. This dish was a favorite during the mid-1900s, especially in households trying to stretch their food budget. It's one of those meals that's quick, comforting, and incredibly satisfying. The creamy tuna mixture, served over crispy toast, offers the perfect combination of textures and flavors, all while being ready in less than 10 minutes. To make this classic, start by toasting a couple of slices of bread, white, whole wheat, or even sourdough, whatever you have on hand. You want the toast to be crunchy enough to hold up to the creamy tuna without getting soggy, but soft enough to melt in your mouth with each bite. Once your toast is golden and crispy, set it aside. Next, grab a can of tuna, preferably in water, though oil-packed works too, and drain it thoroughly. In a medium-sized skillet, melt a couple of tablespoons of butter over medium heat. Once the butter has melted and is slightly bubbling, whisk in a tablespoon of flour. This will form the roux, which is the thickening base for your creamy sauce. Slowly add about a cup of milk to the pan, whisking constantly to prevent lumps from forming. Keep stirring until the sauce thickens, which should take around 2-3 minutes. Once your sauce is nice and smooth, add the tuna to the skillet, stirring it in to ensure it's evenly coated in the creamy mixture. Season the sauce with salt and pepper to taste, and if you like, sprinkle in a little paprika or garlic powder for extra flavor. Let the mixture heat through for another 2-3 minutes, allowing the tuna to soak up the rich, creamy sauce. Now, spoon the creamy tuna over the toasted bread, covering it generously. If you're feeling extra indulgent, you can sprinkle some more paprika on top for a touch of color and flavor. The result is a dish that's hearty, flavorful, and just the right amount of comfort. Serve with a side of pickles or a simple salad to balance the richness of the tuna, and you've got a meal that's ready in no time and sure to satisfy. Creamed tuna on toast is a testament to how resourcefulness in the kitchen can result in a meal that feels like a warm hug. Simple, quick, and unforgettable. French-style ham and cheese omelet. The French-style ham and cheese omelet is the epitome of simplicity and elegance in one delicious dish. This quick and satisfying meal has roots in classic French cooking, where the goal is always to let quality ingredients shine with minimal effort. In just 10 minutes, you can create a soft, fluffy omelet that's filled with savory ham and melted cheese, perfect for breakfast, lunch, or a light dinner. Start by whisking 2 eggs in a bowl, seasoning with a pinch of salt and pepper. Heat a small non-stick skillet over medium heat and melt a small pat of butter, swirling the pan to coat the surface evenly. Once the butter is hot and slightly bubbling, pour in the beaten eggs, tilting the pan to spread them out evenly. As the eggs begin to set around the edges, scatter thinly sliced ham and a generous handful of grated cheese. Gruyere or cheddar work beautifully over 1/2 of the omelet. Let the omelet cook for another 1-2 minutes, allowing the cheese to melt and the eggs to set completely. Then fold the omelet in half, covering the ham and cheese filling. Cook for another minute or so to ensure the inside is warm and melty, then slide it onto a plate. You can garnish with fresh herbs like parsley or chives for an added touch of color and freshness. This French-style omelet is a quick, satisfying dish that brings the timeless combination of ham and cheese to life with soft, buttery eggs. It's light yet fulfilling, and in under 10 minutes, you have a meal that's both comforting and refined, perfect for when you need something delicious, fast, and full of flavor. Savory rice pudding. Savory rice pudding is a warm, comforting dish that's often overlooked but incredibly satisfying. This twist on the classic sweet version is perfect for a quick, filling meal. The creamy texture of the rice combined with the richness of cheese makes for a delicious, hearty dish that can be enjoyed any time of day. Start by heating some butter in a pan, then add cooked rice. Leftover rice works perfectly. Stir the rice to coat it with the butter. Slowly add milk, stirring until the mixture becomes creamy and thickens slightly. Stir in some grated cheese. Cheddar or Parmesan works well, and season with salt, pepper, and a pinch of nutmeg. Stir until the cheese melts and the pudding reaches a creamy consistency. Serve hot and enjoy the comforting flavors of this quick, savory treat. It's simple, creamy, and ready in just minutes. Egg salad on rye. Egg salad is the unsung hero of quick and satisfying meals. It's one of those dishes that never goes out of style. Simple, delicious, and versatile. Whether piled high on a sandwich, served with crackers, or eaten straight from the bowl, egg salad is always a comforting choice. And while it's often thought of as a lunch or picnic dish, it can be enjoyed at any time of day. Best of all, it's ready in just a few minutes, making it a perfect solution for a speedy meal when you're in a rush. To begin, start by hard-boiling a couple of eggs. If you've got leftovers, even better. But if not, simply place the eggs in a pot of water, bring it to a boil, then lower the heat and simmer for about 8 to 10 minutes. Once the eggs are cooked, let them cool in cold water, making peeling a breeze. Once your eggs are peeled and cooled, chop them into small pieces. You don't want them too fine, just enough to give a nice chunky texture that will hold up well in the salad. Next, grab a bowl and mix the chopped eggs with mayonnaise, a generous spoonful or two, depending on how creamy you like it. Add a spoonful of mustard to bring a little tanginess into the mix. Now, season with a pinch of salt and pepper, adjusting the seasoning to taste. For a bit of added crunch, you can also toss in finely chopped celery or pickle relish, which not only brightens the salad, but adds a bit of zest. The beauty of this dish is in its simplicity, but if you want to take it up a notch, consider adding a sprinkle of paprika or even some fresh herbs like dill or chives. These additions can elevate the flavor, adding freshness and a touch of color to the creamy egg salad. Now, to assemble, grab some thicket rye bread, or any bread you prefer, and slather a generous amount of the egg salad on one slice. The rye bread, with its hearty texture and slightly sour taste, pairs perfectly with the creamy, tangy egg salad. Place another slice of bread on top, and you've got a satisfying sandwich in no time. If you're feeling extra nostalgic, serve the egg salad on a platter with some crispy potato chips or fresh veggies on the side. You've just made a meal that's quick, easy, and full of flavors that'll take you back to simpler times. Whether it's for lunch, dinner, or just a snack, egg salad on rye is a classic you'll always want to have in your recipe rotation. Tomato and avocado salad. There's something so simple and satisfying about a fresh salad, especially when it's made with just a few ripe ingredients that perfectly complement each other. This tomato and avocado salad brings together the creamy texture of avocado with the juicy, tangy bite of ripe tomatoes, making it the kind of dish that feels light yet indulgent. It's a salad that doesn't require a lot of effort, but the flavors are so vibrant and fresh that it'll quickly become a go-to for busy days or whenever you want something quick but impressive. Start with the tomatoes. Look for ripe, juicy ones, whether they're heirloom, Roma, or any variety you love. Slice them into thick rounds or wedges, depending on your preference. There's no need to be precise. The beauty of this salad lies in its rustic simplicity. Once your tomatoes are cut, set them aside and move on to the avocado. Choose a ripe avocado that yields slightly when pressed. This is key to ensuring it's perfectly creamy. Slice it in half, remove the pit, and carefully scoop the flesh out with a spoon. Then cut the avocado into slices or cubes, depending on your preference. The creamy avocado will pair perfectly with the acidity of the tomatoes, creating a rich yet refreshing balance. Now, for the dressing, this part is so easy but makes all the difference. Squeeze fresh lime juice over the tomatoes and avocado, just enough to give it a zingy brightness. Drizzle a little olive oil over the top for smoothness, then season with salt and pepper. For an extra burst of flavor, sprinkle some fresh cilantro over the salad, or if you prefer, a few sprigs of basil can bring a lovely aromatic touch. If you like a bit of heat, a few red pepper flakes or a dash of chili powder can give this dish a subtle kick. Gently toss the salad together, taking care not to mash the avocado, and serve immediately. The result is a dish that's as refreshing as it is flavorful. Tangy tomatoes, creamy avocado, and the perfect seasoning. This salad is versatile enough to pair with just about anything, from grilled meats to a simple slice of crusty bread. And the best part? It's ready in under 10 minutes, making it the perfect dish for those days when you want something fresh, easy, and delicious without a lot of fuss. Spicy garlic butter. Shrimp. Sometimes you need a meal that feels decadent yet takes almost no time at all to prepare. Enter spicy garlic butter shrimp. This dish is the perfect combination of bold flavors and a ridiculously quick prep time. The garlicky butter sauce is rich and savory, while the heat from the red pepper flakes adds a kick that makes each bite exciting. It's a dish that seems like it came from a fancy restaurant, but in reality, it comes together in just 10 minutes. Start by peeling and deveining your shrimp. If you're using frozen shrimp, be sure to thaw them in cold water beforehand. Once your shrimp are prepped, heat a generous amount of butter in a skillet over medium-high heat. The butter should melt and start to sizzle in the pan, filling the kitchen with a mouth-watering aroma. As soon as the butter is bubbling, add a few cloves of minced garlic to the pan. Sauté the garlic for about 30 seconds, just enough time to release its fragrance without letting it burn. This is the base for the rich, garlicky sauce that will coat the shrimp beautifully. Now, toss in the shrimp. Make sure to spread them out evenly in the pan so they cook properly. Season with salt, pepper, and a pinch of red pepper flakes. For heat, how much you add depends on how spicy you like your food, but even a little goes a long way. Let the shrimp cook for about 2-3 minutes on each side, or until they turn a bright pink and curl up. This will happen quickly, so don't walk away. Once the shrimp are cooked through, squeeze fresh lemon juice over the top for a bit of acidity to balance out the richness of the butter. Give everything a quick toss to make sure the shrimp are fully coated in the buttery sauce. If you're feeling fancy, garnish with some freshly chopped parsley or cilantro for a pop of color and a fresh herbal note. This dish is perfect on its own or served with a side of rice or crusty bread to soak up that delicious garlic butter sauce. Spicy garlic butter. Shrimp is a testament to how much flavor you can pack into just 10 minutes of cooking, and it's sure to impress anyone lucky enough to share the meal with you. Quick, easy, and irresistible. It's everything you want in a meal, without the wait. Baked sweet potatoes with cinnamon and honey. Sweet potatoes are one of those ingredients that manage to be both comforting and versatile, and when paired with cinnamon and honey, they become an irresistibly sweet and savory treat. This dish is a perfect example of how something so simple can taste so special. While baked sweet potatoes usually take a long time to cook, this quick version uses the microwave to save time, yet still delivers that perfect combination of soft, fluffy insides and a caramelized exterior. Start by washing your sweet potatoes thoroughly. Scrub off any dirt, as you want to keep the skin intact for the added texture and flavor. Pierce the potatoes a few times with a fork to allow steam to escape while cooking. Then, place them in the microwave. Depending on the size of the potatoes, they'll need anywhere from 5 to 7 minutes to cook. To check for doneness, gently squeeze the potato with a towel or oven mitt to avoid burning yourself. It should give slightly. If not, microwave for another minute or two until they're tender all the way through. Once the sweet potatoes are done, slice them open lengthwise. Be careful, as they'll be piping hot inside. As you open them up, you'll see the steam rise and catch a whiff of that naturally sweet aroma. This is where the magic happens. Add a small pat of butter to each sweet potato half, letting it melt into the flesh for extra creaminess. Then sprinkle with cinnamon, just enough to bring out that warm, aromatic spice without overpowering the natural sweetness of the potato. Now comes the sweet finishing touch. Drizzle a little honey over the top. The honey not only enhances the natural sugars in the sweet potato, but it also adds a glossy caramelized finish that makes each bite feel luxurious. For an extra touch, a pinch of salt balances out the sweetness and helps all the flavors pop. These baked sweet potatoes are perfect on their own as a quick snack or served as a side to complement a larger meal. The combination of cinnamon and honey makes them feel like a dessert, but they're nutritious enough to be an everyday indulgence. In just under 10 minutes, you've got a dish that's both nourishing and delightful, comfort food at its best. Whether it's a cozy dinner or a satisfying side, this recipe proves that sometimes the simplest dishes are the most satisfying. Avocado toast with poached egg. Avocado toast is one of those modern classics that feels both trendy and timeless. While its popularity surged in recent years, this dish has been around for decades in different variations, celebrated for its simplicity and versatility. With just a few ingredients, you can create a meal that's rich, creamy, and satisfying, perfect for breakfast, lunch, or even a light dinner. And when you top it with a perfectly poached egg, it takes the whole thing to another level, turning it into a comforting, protein-packed dish that feels indulgent but is ready in just 10 minutes. To start, choose a thick slice of hearty bread. Sourdough works wonderfully, but any rustic bread with a bit of chewiness will do the trick. Toast the bread until it's golden and crisp, but not too hard. You want it to hold up to the avocado without being overly crunchy. While the bread is toasting, it's time to prepare the avocado. Cut a ripe avocado in half, remove the pit, and scoop the flesh out into a bowl. Mash it with a fork until it's mostly smooth but still slightly chunky. This will give the toast a nice texture. Season the mashed avocado with salt, pepper, and a squeeze of fresh lemon juice. The lemon brightens the flavor and prevents the avocado from browning too quickly. Now, for the poached egg. Fill a small saucepan with water and bring it to a gentle simmer. Don't let it boil too vigorously. Add a splash of vinegar to the water, which helps the egg whites set quickly. Crack an egg into a small cup or bowl and then gently slide it into the simmering water. Let it cook for about 3-4 minutes, depending on how runny you like your yolk. You'll know it's ready when the whites are set, but the yolk is still soft and gooey. Carefully remove the egg with a slotted spoon and set it on a paper towel to drain any excess water. Once the toast is ready, spread the mashed avocado generously on top. Then, place the poached egg right on top of the avocado. The runny yolk will add a rich, velvety sauce that blends perfectly with the creamy avocado. For a little extra flavor, sprinkle some red pepper flakes, fresh herbs like chives or parsley, or even a pinch of smoked paprika on top. Avocado toast with a poached egg is simple, yes, but it's also a little bit luxurious. The creamy avocado, crunchy toast, and silky egg combine into a perfect bite that's satisfying and full of flavor. Whether you're craving a quick breakfast or a light snack, this dish is an easy go-to that never disappoints. And with everything coming together in under 10 minutes, you'll have time to enjoy every delicious bite. Cheese quesadilla with salsa. When you think of a quick, satisfying meal, the humble cheese quesadilla is hard to beat. Crispy on the outside, melty on the inside, and endlessly customizable, it's a dish that comes together in no time and always hits the spot. Though simple in its most basic form, the combination of cheese and warm tortillas is nothing short of comforting. Pair it with a side of fresh salsa, and you've got a meal that feels both cozy and satisfying, whether it's lunch, dinner, or a snack. Start by heating a non-stick skillet over medium heat. While the pan warms up, grab 2 soft flour tortillas, preferably fresh, but any tortillas you have on hand will do. Place 1 tortilla flat on the skillet and sprinkle a generous amount of shredded cheese over the entire surface. A blend of cheddar and Monterey Jack is ideal for that perfect melt, but you can get creative with your cheese choices based on what you have available. The key is to use a cheese that melts well, giving you that gooey, satisfying bite. Once the cheese is evenly spread out, place the second tortilla on top, pressing it gently to sandwich the cheese between the 2 tortillas. Let it cook for about 2-3 minutes, or until the bottom tortilla is golden and crispy. You can gently lift the edge with a spatula to check. When the first side is perfectly browned, it's time to flip. Carefully turn the quesadilla over and cook for another 2 minutes on the other side, until it's golden and crispy, and the cheese has fully melted inside. Once the quesadilla is done, remove it from the skillet and let it cool for a moment before slicing it into wedges. The cheese should be oozing out and the tortillas should have that perfect crunch. Serve the quesadilla with a side of fresh salsa, whether it's a chunky homemade version or your favorite store-bought jar. The tangy, zesty flavor of the salsa pairs beautifully with the rich, cheesy quesadilla, creating a delicious contrast of textures and flavors. For added variety, you can customize your quesadilla with extras like sautéed onions, peppers, or a sprinkle of chili flakes for some heat. You can also add a dollop of sour cream or a few slices of avocado to take the dish to the next level. But at its core, a cheese quesadilla is simple, fast, and absolutely delicious. A perfect meal when time is short and you're craving something warm and comforting. And the best part? It's ready in less than 10 minutes. Tomato soup with grilled cheese. Tomato soup and grilled cheese, 2 comfort food classics that never seem to lose their charm. It's the perfect combination. The rich, velvety soup with its slightly tangy flavor, paired with the crispy, melty goodness of a grilled cheese sandwich. This timeless duo can be made in just 10 minutes, making it ideal for busy days when you need a quick meal that still feels like a hug in a bowl. Whether it's for lunch, a cozy dinner, or an afternoon snack, this combination will always hit the spot. Start by making the tomato soup. While you could go the homemade route, there's something special about a good quality canned tomato soup that takes almost no time to heat up. Pour the soup into a saucepan and heat it over medium-low heat. Stir occasionally as it warms and add a splash of milk or cream to make it extra creamy. Season with a pinch of salt, pepper, and a pinch of sugar to balance out the acidity of the tomatoes. For a little extra flavor, add a dash of dried basil or oregano, which will infuse the soup with a subtle herbiness. Once the soup is hot and perfectly seasoned, reduce the heat to low to keep it warm while you prepare the grilled cheese. For the grilled cheese, heat a non-stick skillet over medium heat. While the pan warms up, butter 2 slices of bread on one side. The butter will help it create that golden, crispy exterior we all crave. Lay one slice of bread, butter side down, onto the skillet. Add a few slices of cheese on top. Cheddar is a classic, but you can mix it up with a combination of cheddar and mozzarella for extra meltiness. Place the second slice of bread on top. Butter side up. Let the sandwich cook for about 203 minutes until the bottom is golden brown and crispy. Flip the sandwich carefully using a spatula and cook for another 2 to 3 minutes on the other side until the cheese is fully melted and the bread is golden brown and crisp on both sides. Once your grilled cheese is done, remove it from the skillet and slice it diagonally for that perfect cross-section shot. Serve it alongside the warm, creamy tomato soup, and you've got a meal that's both comforting and familiar. Dunking the grilled cheese into the soup is one of life's simple pleasures, and that first bite with the gooey cheese and crispy bread soaked in rich tomato soup is pure magic. For an extra touch, sprinkle a little fresh basil or grated Parmesan on top of the soup, or even drizzle a tiny bit of olive oil for a little richness. In just 10 minutes, you've made a dish that feels both nostalgic and deeply satisfying. No matter your age, this classic duo always hits the spot. Classic BLT sandwich. The BLT is simple, satisfying, and beloved by many. Has a way of turning a few basic ingredients into a meal that feels both fresh and indulgent. It's the kind of sandwich that's perfect for a quick lunch, a lazy weekend meal, or even a light dinner when you're craving something crispy, salty, and flavorful. The contrast of crunchy bacon, ripe tomatoes, crisp lettuce, and soft toasted bread is what makes this sandwich such a timeless classic, and it comes together in no time. Start by cooking your bacon. You can either fry it in a skillet or bake it in the oven. If you're frying it, heat a pan over medium heat and lay the bacon strips flat, making sure not to overcrowd the pan. Let the bacon cook for about 3-4 minutes on each side until it's golden brown and crispy. If you prefer to bake it, arrange the bacon on a baking sheet lined with parchment paper and bake at 400 degrees for about 12-15 minutes. Once your bacon is cooked, transfer it to a paper towel-lined plate to drain any excess fat, leaving you with that perfect crispy texture. While the bacon cooks, toast 2 slices of your favorite bread. White, whole wheat, or sourdough all work beautifully. Whatever you choose, make sure the slices are sturdy enough to hold the ingredients without getting soggy. Once the bread is toasted to a nice golden brown, spread a thin layer of mayonnaise on one side of each slice. The creamy mayo adds richness to the sandwich and ties all the flavors together. Now it's time to assemble. Start by layering a few fresh, crisp lettuce leaves on one slice of bread. Then, place several slices of ripe tomato on top of the lettuce. Season the tomatoes with a pinch of salt and pepper to enhance their natural sweetness. Next, lay the crispy bacon strips over the tomatoes, arranging them evenly across the sandwich. Top with the second slice of bread, mayo side down. For a finishing touch, slice your BLT diagonally for that classic presentation and you're done. The combination of crispy bacon, juicy tomatoes, cool lettuce, and creamy mayo between 2 slices of toasted bread is a perfect balance of textures and flavors. It's simple, yes, but that's exactly what makes it so satisfying. Whether you're having it with a side of chips, pickles, or a refreshing pickle spear, the BLT is a meal that never fails to please. And with everything ready in under 10 minutes, you've got a meal that's not only delicious, but quick and easy to make. Pasta aglio e olio. If you're looking for a meal that's both comforting and full of flavor, but doesn't require a lot of time or effort, pasta aglio e olio is the answer. This classic Italian dish relies on just a few ingredients: garlic, olive oil, pasta, and a touch of red pepper flakes. Yet it's incredibly satisfying. The key to its deliciousness lies in the simplicity and the way the garlic and oil come together to coat each strand of pasta with a rich, aromatic sauce. It's the kind of dish that's perfect for a late-night snack or a quick weeknight dinner. And best of all, it comes together in just 10 minutes. Start by boiling a pot of salted water and cooking your pasta. Spaghetti is the traditional choice, but you can use any pasta you have on hand. Cook it according to the package instructions until it's al dente, which should take around 7-9 minutes, depending on the type of pasta. Once it's ready, save about a cup of pasta water before draining the rest. This starchy water will help create the sauce and give it a silky texture. While the pasta cooks, heat about 3 tablespoons of olive oil in a large skillet over medium heat. Once the oil is hot, add several cloves of thinly sliced garlic. Let the garlic cook gently, stirring often until it becomes fragrant and just starts to turn golden brown. Be careful not to burn the garlic, as it can become bitter if overcooked. This step is the foundation of the dish, so give it your full attention. As the garlic becomes golden, add a pinch of red pepper flakes to introduce a bit of heat. Stir it into the garlic and oil, letting it infuse for a minute or so. At this point, your kitchen will smell absolutely heavenly. Now, add the drained pasta directly to the skillet with the garlic and oil. Toss everything together, ensuring the pasta is well coated with the garlicky, spicy oil. If the mixture feels a bit dry, add some of the reserved pasta water a little at a time until you reach your desired consistency. The pasta water will help the sauce cling to the noodles and create a smooth, glossy finish. Once everything is mixed and the pasta is thoroughly coated, season with salt and pepper to taste. For an extra burst of flavor, sprinkle freshly grated Parmesan cheese over the top, or if you're feeling adventurous, a handful of chopped parsley for a touch of freshness. In less than 10 minutes, you've created a dish that's simple yet bursting with flavor. Pasta aglio e olio is proof that even the most minimalist recipes can be utterly delicious. The heat from the red pepper, the richness of the olive oil, and the depth of the garlic combine to create a meal that's hearty, satisfying, and oh so tasty. Whether you're cooking for yourself or impressing guests with a quick, elegant dish, this pasta is always a winner. Chickpea salad with lemon and olive oil. This chickpea salad is one of those refreshing, quick meals that you'll want to make again and again. It's the perfect balance of hearty, tangy, and fresh, making it ideal for a light lunch or a vibrant side dish. With just a handful of ingredients, you can whip up a salad that's not only nutritious but also bursting with flavor. The chickpeas provide a satisfying base, while the fresh lemon and olive oil dressing gives it a zing that makes it utterly irresistible. And the best part? It's ready in under 10 minutes. Start with 1 can of chickpeas, rinsed and drained. If you have dried chickpeas, feel free to cook them ahead of time, but canned chickpeas are a convenient shortcut that saves you a lot of prep time. Once your chickpeas are ready, place them in a large bowl. These little legumes are packed with protein and fiber, making them a perfect foundation for this salad. Next, grab a lemon and cut it in half. Squeeze the juice from one half directly over the chickpeas. The lemon will add a bright, tangy flavor that's key to balancing the richness of the olive oil. If you like your salad a little extra zesty, feel free to squeeze in the juice of the second half. Now, drizzle in about 2 to 3 tablespoons of high-quality, extra virgin olive oil. The oil will help to coat the chickpeas, bringing everything together with its smooth, rich texture. Toss the salad gently to combine the lemon juice, olive oil, and chickpeas evenly. To take the flavor up a notch, season the salad with salt and pepper to taste. A pinch of salt enhances the natural flavors of the chickpeas and helps bring out the freshness of the lemon. For a little extra depth, you can add a dash of ground cumin, paprika, or even chili flakes if you like a bit of heat. These spices complement the chickpeas wonderfully and give the salad a subtle earthy flavor. For a final touch, chop a handful of fresh parsley or cilantro and sprinkle it over the top. The herbs not only add a burst of color, but also contribute a refreshing, herby kick that pairs perfectly with the lemon and olive oil. This salad is incredibly versatile, so feel free to add extra ingredients like diced cucumber, red onion, or even feta cheese if you'd like. But at its core, the simple combination of chickpeas, lemon, olive oil, and fresh herbs is all you really need to create a satisfying, healthy dish that's both filling and light. In just 10 minutes, you've got a meal that's as nourishing as it is delicious, packed with fiber, healthy fats, and bright, fresh flavors. This chickpea salad is perfect on its own or served as a side with grilled meats, pita bread, or alongside a bowl of hummus. Crispy garlic Parmesan potatoes. When you're craving something crispy, savory, and comforting, but don't want to spend hours in the kitchen, these crispy garlic Parmesan potatoes are the answer. They're quick to prepare, loaded with flavor, and make the perfect side dish or even a satisfying snack on their own. With golden, crispy edges, soft interiors, and a generous dusting of garlic and Parmesan, these potatoes are irresistibly good and can be whipped up in just 10 minutes. Start by washing and cutting your potatoes into small, bite-sized cubes. Russet potatoes work great for this dish, but any variety you have on hand will do. The key is to make sure the pieces are about the same size so they cook evenly. Once cut, place the potato cubes into a microwave-safe bowl and cover with a damp paper towel. Microwave them on high for 3 to 4 minutes, or until they are just starting to soften. This step ensures the potatoes cook through quickly, giving you that crispy exterior with a perfectly tender tender interior. While the potatoes are in the microwave, get your skillet heating up. Place a large nonstick skillet over medium-high heat and add a couple of tablespoons of olive oil. Let the oil warm up and start to shimmer. It's ready when you can feel a bit of heat rising from the pan. Once the potatoes are done in the microwave, transfer them carefully into the skillet, making sure not to overcrowd the pan. You want to give each potato piece some space so they can get crisp on all sides. Let them cook for about 4 to 5 minutes without stirring too much, allowing the potatoes to develop a nice golden brown crust on the bottom. Then, use a spatula to turn the potatoes and cook for another 4 to 5 minutes, flipping until they're crispy and golden all over. As the potatoes are crisping up, finely chop a couple of cloves of garlic and set them aside. Once the potatoes are nice and crispy, add the garlic to the skillet, stirring quickly so it doesn't burn. The garlic will release a fragrant, savory aroma and begin to brown in the hot oil, infusing the potatoes with its rich flavor. Next, add a generous sprinkle of grated Parmesan cheese to the potatoes, tossing them to coat evenly. The cheese will melt into the potatoes, creating a savory, cheesy coating that's the perfect complement to the garlic. Season with salt, pepper, and a pinch of dried Italian herbs if you'd like to add a little extra flavor depth. Once the potatoes are golden, crispy, and covered in garlic and Parmesan, remove them from the skillet and serve hot. For an extra touch, sprinkle a little more Parmesan on top and garnish with freshly chopped parsley for a burst of color. These crispy garlic Parmesan potatoes are a perfect side for everything from grilled chicken to a fresh salad or even a hearty bowl of soup. They're crispy, cheesy, garlicky, and utterly addictive. Plus, they're ready in under 10 minutes, making them an easy choice for a quick, flavorful snack or side dish whenever you need one. Mushroom and spinach frittata. A frittata is one of those meals that's both simple and satisfying, and it can be made in no time, especially when you're in the mood for something light but hearty. This mushroom and spinach frittata is packed with earthy mushrooms, fresh spinach, and fluffy eggs, all coming together in a quick one-pan dish that's as versatile as it is delicious. Whether you're enjoying it for breakfast, brunch, or dinner, this frittata brings comfort and flavor in just 10 minutes. Start by heating a tablespoon of olive oil in a non-stick skillet over medium heat. While the pan is warming, slice a handful of mushrooms. Cremini or button mushrooms are ideal, but you can use whatever variety you like. Add the mushrooms to the skillet and saute them for about 3 to 4 minutes, or until they're tender and browned. The mushrooms will release some of their moisture and begin to caramelize, creating a deep, savory flavor. Stir occasionally to make sure they cook evenly. Once the mushrooms are cooked through, add a couple of handfuls of fresh spinach to the skillet. Stir the spinach into the mushrooms, letting it wilt down for about 1–2 minutes. The spinach will shrink as it cooks, so don't worry if it seems like a lot at first. It'll shrink down considerably. While the mushrooms and spinach are cooking, crack 4 to 5 large eggs into a bowl and whisk them together with a pinch of salt and pepper. For a bit of extra flavor, you can add a sprinkle of grated cheese. Parmesan or feta works well, but it's optional. Once the spinach is wilted and the mushrooms are perfectly sautéed, pour the egg mixture evenly over the vegetables in the skillet. Reduce the heat to low and let the eggs cook undisturbed for about 4 to 5 minutes. As the eggs begin to set around the edges, you can use a spatula to gently lift the edges of the frittata and tilt the pan to allow any uncooked egg to flow to the edges. To finish off the frittata, cover the skillet with a lid and cook for an additional 2–3 minutes, allowing the eggs to fully set in the center. If you like your frittata a little more golden on top, you can pop the skillet under a broiler for a minute or two. Just be sure to keep an eye on it so it doesn't burn. Once the frittata is cooked through, carefully slide it out of the skillet and onto a cutting board. Slice it into wedges and serve hot. The result is a beautifully fluffy frittata with tender mushrooms, wilted spinach, and rich, savory eggs. This mushroom and spinach frittata is perfect on its own, but it's also great with a side of mixed greens or some crusty bread. It's light enough for breakfast, but hearty enough to make a satisfying dinner. Plus, it's ready in just 10 minutes, making it the perfect choice when you want something quick, easy, and full of flavor. Caprese salad. A caprese salad is one of those simple dishes that proves less is more. This Italian classic celebrates the bright, fresh flavors of ripe tomatoes, creamy mozzarella, fragrant basil, and a drizzle of a good olive oil. It's light, refreshing, and so easy to put together, making it perfect for a quick lunch, a side dish, or even a light dinner when you're craving something fresh and satisfying. Best of all, this dish is ready in just 10 minutes, allowing you to enjoy a little taste of Italy in no time. Start with the tomatoes. Use the ripest, juiciest tomatoes you can find. preferably heirloom or vine-ripened, for their sweetness and flavor. Slice them into thick rounds, about 1/4 inch thick, and arrange them on a plate or platter. The more colorful the tomatoes, the better, as it will add a beautiful visual appeal to the dish. Next, slice fresh mozzarella into similar-sized rounds. If you can find buffalo mozzarella, that's even better, but any high-quality fresh mozzarella will work perfectly. Alternate the slices of mozzarella with the tomato slices, layering them in a circular pattern or just placing them randomly depending on your style. Now, add a handful of fresh basil leaves. You can either leave the leaves whole or tear them into smaller pieces. Either way, they'll infuse the salad with that signature basil aroma that pairs so wonderfully with the tomatoes and cheese. For the dressing, drizzle the salad generously with high-quality extra virgin olive oil. The oil adds richness and depth to the fresh ingredients, helping to bring all the flavors together. Next, sprinkle a pinch of salt and freshly cracked black pepper over the top to taste. For a little extra punch, drizzle some balsamic vinegar or a balsamic glaze over the salad. This adds a touch of acidity and sweetness, perfectly balancing the creaminess of the mozzarella and the juiciness of the tomatoes. For the finishing touch, you can add a few more fresh basil leaves on top, or even a sprinkle of flaky sea salt for extra texture and flavor. Serve immediately for the best freshness. This caprese salad is a celebration of summer's best produce, and its beauty lies in its simplicity. It's light, full of flavor, and just the thing when you want something quick but impressive. Whether you're serving it as an appetizer, pairing it with grilled meats, or enjoying it on its own, it's the perfect dish to savor in just 10 minutes. Tuna salad stuffed avocados. Tuna salad stuffed avocados combine two of the most satisfying foods into one healthy, delicious dish. The creamy avocado pairs perfectly with a light, savory tuna salad, creating a meal that's not only quick and easy, but also packed with healthy fats and protein. Whether you're looking for a light lunch, a snack, or a refreshing dinner, this dish is ready in just 10 minutes and will leave you feeling satisfied without being heavy. Start by cutting 2 ripe avocados in half and removing the pits. You want the avocados to be perfectly ripe so they're creamy but not overly mushy. Scoop out a little of the flesh from each half to create a well for the tuna salad. But be sure to leave enough of the avocado around the edges so that the halves hold their shape. Next, drain a can of tuna, preferably packed in water or olive oil, depending on your preference, and transfer it to a medium-sized bowl. Flake the tuna with a fork to break it up into bite-sized pieces. Add a couple of tablespoons of mayonnaise or Greek yogurt for creaminess, whichever you prefer. You can also mix in a squeeze of lemon juice for a little zing and a pinch of salt and pepper to taste. If you want to add more flavor and texture, toss in some finely chopped red onion, celery, or pickles. These ingredients will give your tuna salad that classic crunch and added depth. Once the tuna salad is mixed, carefully spoon it into the avocado halves, filling the wells you created with the creamy tuna mixture. You want to be generous here. Make sure each avocado half gets a heaping portion of the salad. For a bit of extra flavor, drizzle a little extra lemon juice or a dash of hot sauce over the top for some zing and spice. For garnish, sprinkle the stuffed avocados with some fresh chopped parsley, cilantro, or even a bit of shredded cheese. You could also top them with a few red pepper flakes if you like a little heat. These tuna salad stuffed avocados are not only delicious, but also incredibly satisfying. The creamy avocado and the light, flavorful tuna salad come together for a dish that's both refreshing and filling. With only a few simple ingredients, you've got a quick, nutritious meal that takes almost no time to prepare, but is packed with flavors. Whether you're looking for a quick lunch, a healthy snack, or a light dinner, this dish is sure to impress. Plus, it's ready in just 10 minutes. Egg fried rice. Egg fried rice is one of those classic dishes that's both quick and satisfying, transforming leftover rice into something flavorful and comforting in just a few minutes. Whether you're using up old rice from last night's dinner or making a fresh batch, this dish is a delicious, versatile option that's perfect for lunch, dinner, or even a late-night snack. The fluffy scrambled eggs, savory soy sauce, and slight crispness of the rice come together to create a meal that's simple, hearty, and packed with flavor. Start by heating a tablespoon of oil. Vegetable or sesame oil works well in a large skillet or wok over medium-high heat. Once the oil is hot, crack 2 eggs into the pan and scramble them, stirring constantly until they're fully cooked. This should only take about 1–2 minutes. Once the eggs are scrambled, remove them from the pan and set them aside. In the same pan, add a little more oil if needed and then toss in 1–2 cups of cooked rice. If you're using leftover rice, that's perfect, as it's drier and will fry up nicely. If you're using freshly cooked rice, make sure it's cooled to room temperature, as fresh rice can become too mushy when fried. Spread the rice out in the pan, allowing it to crisp up a little on the bottom. Stir it occasionally to ensure the rice heats evenly. Once the rice is warmed through and slightly crispy in places, add a couple of tablespoons of soy sauce. This gives the rice a savory depth of flavor that's essential to fried rice. Stir the rice well, making sure each grain is coated in the soy sauce. You can also add a dash of oyster sauce or hoisin sauce for extra flavor, though this is optional. Next, return the scrambled eggs to the pan and mix them into the rice, breaking them into smaller pieces as you stir. For extra flavor and texture, you can toss in some finely chopped vegetables like peas, carrots, green onions, which can be added along with the soy sauce. If you like a little heat, add a pinch of red pepper flakes or a drizzle of chili oil. Once everything is combined and heated through, taste the fried rice and adjust the seasoning if needed. You can add more soy sauce, salt, or pepper to your liking. Serve the egg fried rice hot, garnished with a sprinkle of chopped green onions or sesame seeds for an extra touch of flavor and crunch. It's a simple, delicious dish that's perfect on its own or as a side to a larger meal. With just a few basic ingredients, you've turned leftover rice into something irresistible in under 10 minutes. Sweet and sour cabbage stir fry. Sweet and sour cabbage stir fry is a quick and vibrant dish that brings together the perfect balance of tangy, sweet, and savory flavors. Cabbage, often overlooked as a humble vegetable, becomes a star in this dish, absorbing the bold sauce and adding crunch and texture. It's an easy, budget-friendly option that's packed with nutrients and can be made in just 10 minutes, making it a perfect choice for a light lunch or a flavorful side dish. Start by heating a tablespoon of oil in a large skillet or wok over medium heat. Once the oil is hot, add about half a medium-sized cabbage, thinly sliced. You can use green or purple cabbage, depending on what you have on hand. Stir the cabbage frequently to ensure it cooks evenly and begins to soften. After about 3 to 4 minutes, the cabbage will start to wilt and become tender while still retaining a bit of its crunch. While the cabbage is cooking, prepare the sweet and sour sauce. In a small bowl, whisk together 2 tablespoons of rice vinegar, 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, and 1 tablespoon of honey or sugar. This creates a perfect balance of acidity from the vinegar, saltiness from the soy sauce, and sweetness from the honey or sugar. For an added kick, you can stir in a dash of chili flakes or a small amount of chili sauce, depending on your spice preference. Once the cabbage has softened, but still has some texture, pour the sweet and sour sauce over the top. Stir well to coat the cabbage in the sauce, letting it cook for another 2–3 minutes, allowing the flavors to meld together and the cabbage to absorb the tangy sauce. If the sauce starts to reduce too quickly, add a splash of water to maintain the right consistency. For a bit of added flavor, you can toss in some sliced onions, bell peppers, or even carrots while the cabbage is cooking. These vegetables add color, crunch, and a natural sweetness that complements the sauce perfectly. When everything is well combined, and the cabbage is tender yet still crisp, taste and adjust the seasoning with more soy sauce, vinegar, or honey if needed. Serve the sweet and sour cabbage stir-fry hot, garnished with a sprinkle of sesame seeds or fresh cilantro for extra flavor and texture. This dish is great on its own as a light meal or served alongside grilled meats or rice for a complete dinner. In just 10 minutes, you've turned humble cabbage into a flavorful, sweet, and tangy stir-fry that's both healthy and delicious. The balance of flavors will leave you craving more, making it a perfect go-to when you're short on time but still want something satisfying and packed with vibrant flavors. Vegetable frittata. A vegetable frittata is one of those wonderfully versatile dishes that's easy to make and a great way to use up any veggies you have lying around. It's essentially a fluffy, savory egg bake that's packed with vegetables, offering a hearty, satisfying meal in no time. Whether you're looking for a quick breakfast, a light lunch, or an easy dinner, this frittata is the perfect choice. Plus, it's ready in just 10 minutes and full of flavor from the eggs, herbs, and veggies. Start by heating a tablespoon of olive oil in a large oven-safe skillet over medium heat. Once the oil is hot, add a variety of diced vegetables. You can use any combination you like, but onions, bell peppers, spinach, and zucchini are classic choices. Cook the veggies for about 4 to 5 minutes, stirring occasionally until they are softened and fragrant. If you're using leafy greens like spinach, add them towards the end. as they cook down quickly. While the vegetables are cooking, crack 4 to 5 large eggs into a bowl and whisk them together until they're smooth. Season with a pinch of salt, pepper, and any herbs you prefer. Fresh thyme, basil, or oregano all work wonderfully. For extra flavor, you can also stir in a handful of grated cheese, like cheddar or feta, into the egg mixture. The cheese adds richness and a deliciously creamy texture when it melts in the frittata. Once your vegetables are ready, pour the beaten egg mixture evenly over the veggies in the skillet. Use a spatula to gently lift the edges of the mixture and let any uncooked eggs flow to the bottom. Let the eggs cook undisturbed for about 2-3 minutes. You'll notice the edges starting to set, but the center will still be a bit runny. To fully set the frittata, reduce the heat to low and cover the skillet with a lid. Let it cook for another 3-4 minutes, or until the eggs are fully cooked through but still soft in the middle. Alternatively, you can pop the skillet under the broiler for a minute or two to give the top a golden finish, but be sure to keep an eye on it to avoid burning. Once done, carefully slide the frittata onto a cutting board and slice it into wedges. You can serve it hot, but it also tastes great at room temperature, making it perfect for meal prep or a picnic. This vegetable frittata is a great way to enjoy a quick, nutritious meal that's packed with the protein and vegetables. The eggs provide a rich base, while the sautéed vegetables add sweetness and depth of flavor. Whether you enjoy it on its own, with a side of salad, or paired with crusty bread, this dish proves that sometimes the simplest meals are the most satisfying, and it's all done in just 10 minutes. Garlic butter, shrimp, and asparagus. Garlic butter, shrimp, and asparagus is a quick, flavorful, and healthy dish that comes together in just 10 minutes. This combination of succulent shrimp, tender asparagus, and a rich, garlicky butter sauce is perfect for a light yet satisfying meal. With minimal ingredients and maximum flavor, this dish is ideal for busy weeknights when you want something delicious without spending a lot of time in the kitchen. Start by preparing the asparagus. Trim the tough ends of the asparagus spears and cut them into 2-inch pieces. If the asparagus is thin, it cooks quickly, so no need to worry about peeling or removing extra layers. Heat a tablespoon of olive oil or butter in a large skillet over medium heat. Once the oil is hot, add the asparagus pieces and sauté for 3 to 4 minutes, stirring occasionally until the asparagus is bright green and tender but still slightly crisp. While the asparagus cooks, prepare the shrimp. If you're using frozen shrimp, make sure they're thawed and peeled before starting. You'll need about 12-15 large shrimp for this dish, depending on how many servings you want. Pat the shrimp dry with paper towels to ensure they cook evenly. Season the shrimp lightly with salt and pepper. Once the asparagus is done, remove it from the skillet and set it aside. In the same skillet, melt another tablespoon of butter over medium heat. Add 2-3 cloves of minced garlic to the pan and sauté for about 30 seconds until fragrant. Be careful not to burn the garlic, as it can turn bitter. Next, add the shrimp to the skillet and cook for about 2-3 minutes per side, or until they turn pink and opaque. The garlic butter sauce will coat the shrimp beautifully, giving them a rich, savory flavor. Once the shrimp are cooked through, return the asparagus to the skillet and toss everything together, allowing the vegetables and shrimp to mingle in the flavorful sauce for another minute or two. For an extra burst of freshness, squeeze a little lemon juice over the dish before serving and garnish with fresh parsley if you like. The acidity of the lemon brightens up the richness of the garlic butter and complements the shrimp and asparagus perfectly. Serve the garlic butter, shrimp, and asparagus on its own for a low-carb meal, or pair it with rice or quinoa for a more filling option. This dish is quick, easy, and packed with flavor. Everything you could want in a meal when you're short on time, but craving something delicious and satisfying. Zucchini noodles with pesto. Zucchini noodles, or zoodles, are a fantastic low-carb alternative to pasta, and when paired with a fresh, vibrant pesto, they make for a quick, satisfying meal that's full of flavor. This dish is not only light and healthy, but also incredibly easy to prepare in just 10 minutes. Whether you're looking for a quick weeknight dinner or a healthy lunch option, zucchini noodles with pesto is a perfect choice. Start by spiralizing 2 medium zucchinis to create the noodles. If you don't have a spiralizer, a vegetable peeler works just as well. Simply peel the zucchini into long strips. Once you have your zoodles, set them aside. They should be moist, so it's best to pat them dry gently with a paper towel to avoid excess water in your dish. Next, heat a tablespoon of olive oil in a large skillet over medium heat. Add the zucchini noodles to the pan and sauté them for about 2-3 minutes, just until they're heated through and slightly tender. You want the zoodles to still have some bite, so be careful not to overcook them. Once done, remove them from the pan and set them aside. Now, let's make the pesto. In a food processor, combine a generous handful of fresh basil, a quarter cup of pine nuts or walnuts if you prefer, 1 to 2 garlic cloves, and about a half cup of freshly grated Parmesan cheese. Pulse until the ingredients are finely chopped. With the processor running, slowly drizzle in a quarter cup of olive oil until the pesto reaches a smooth, creamy consistency. Season with salt and pepper to taste, and if you like, squeeze in a little lemon juice to brighten up the flavors. Once your pesto is ready, toss the zucchini noodles with the sauce. You can either add the pesto directly into the skillet with the zoodles or combine them in a large mixing bowl. The key is to coat the zoodles evenly with the pesto, allowing the fresh, herby sauce to cling to every noodle. Serve your zucchini noodles with pesto immediately, garnished with extra Parmesan or even a few fresh basil leaves for added color and flavor. This dish is light yet satisfying, with the richness of the pesto perfectly complementing the fresh, slightly crunchy zucchini noodles. Whether you're following a low-carb diet or simply craving something fresh and flavorful, this quick 10-minute recipe is sure to hit the spot. The combination of creamy pesto and crisp zucchini noodles is both comforting and refreshing, making it a perfect dish for any occasion. Avocado and tomato toast. Avocado and tomato toast is a simple yet delicious dish that's perfect for any time of day. The creamy richness of avocado, paired with the juicy sweetness of ripe tomatoes, creates a satisfying combination on top of crispy toast. It's light, nutritious, and packed with healthy fats, making it a great choice for breakfast, lunch, or a snack. Start by toasting a slice of your favorite bread. Sourdough, whole grain, or gluten-free all work well. Once toasted, spread a generous layer of mashed avocado on the warm toast. The avocado should be ripe and creamy, so it spreads easily. Season it with a pinch of salt, pepper, and a squeeze of fresh lemon juice to add some brightness. Next, slice a ripe tomato into thin rounds and layer them on top of the avocado. For extra flavor, drizzle a little olive oil over the top and sprinkle with fresh herbs like basil or parsley. You can also add a dash of chili flakes for a hint of spice. This quick and easy toast is not only full of flavor, but also packed with nutrients, making it a perfect, satisfying meal or snack. Ready in minutes, it's sure to be a go-to in your kitchen. Peanut butter banana toast. Peanut butter banana toast is a delicious and nutritious snack or quick breakfast that's ready in no time. The creamy, salty peanut butter pair perfectly with the sweet, soft banana, all on top of crispy toast. It's the perfect balance of flavors, and textures, and it's packed with protein, healthy fats, and fiber to keep you full and energized. Start by toasting a slice of whole wheat or multigrain bread until it's golden and crispy. Once toasted, spread a generous layer of peanut butter on top while the toast is still warm. The heat from the toast will make the peanut butter melt slightly, creating a creamy base. Next, slice a ripe banana into thin rounds and arrange them on top of the peanut butter-covered toast. You can layer them neatly or scatter them for a more casual look. For extra flavor, drizzle a little honey over the banana slices or sprinkle some cinnamon for a warm, aromatic touch. This simple quick dish takes only minutes to prepare, but is incredibly satisfying. It's perfect for when you need something fast, filling, and packed with flavor. Greek yogurt with honey and almonds. Greek yogurt with honey and almonds is a simple, wholesome snack that's both refreshing and satisfying. The creamy, tangy yogurt serves as the perfect base, while the honey adds natural sweetness and the almonds give it a satisfying crunch. Ready in just minutes, this dish is not only quick, but also packed with protein and healthy fats. Start with a bowl of plain Greek yogurt. Drizzle a tablespoon of honey on top, letting it swirl through the yogurt for that perfect touch of sweetness. Sprinkle with a handful of sliced almonds for crunch and a nutty flavor. This easy combination is delicious, nutritious, and perfect for breakfast, a snack, or even a light dessert. It's a simple, feel-good dish that can be enjoyed any time of day. Cucumber and hummus sandwich. A cucumber and hummus sandwich is a refreshing and light option that comes together in minutes. The creamy hummus pairs perfectly with a crisp, cool cucumber, making for a satisfying bite that's packed with flavor. It's a perfect option for a quick lunch or snack when you want something light, healthy, and easy. Start by spreading a generous layer of hummus on 2 slices of whole grain or sourdough bread. Thinly slice a cucumber and layer the slices on 1 slice of bread, covering it evenly. Add a pinch of salt and pepper for seasoning, and if you like, a drizzle of olive oil or a squeeze of lemon for extra freshness. Top with the second slice of bread, cut in half, and enjoy. This sandwich is simple, nutritious, and takes less than 10 minutes to prepare, making it a great go-to for a quick, healthy meal. Tomato and mozzarella skewers. Tomato and mozzarella skewers are a fresh, vibrant snack or appetizer that's both easy to prepare and full of flavor. The combination of juicy tomatoes, creamy mozzarella, and fragrant basil leaves, all drizzled with balsamicous glaze, creates a light, delicious bite in just a few minutes. Start by threading cherry tomatoes, small mozzarella balls, bocconcini, and fresh basil leaves onto small skewers or toothpicks. Alternate between the tomatoes, mozzarella, and basil for a colorful, tasty skewer. Drizzle with a little balsamic glaze and finish with a sprinkle of salt and pepper. These skewers are a simple yet elegant treat, perfect for parties, picnics, or a quick snack. Fresh, flavorful, and ready in minutes. Chia pudding with berries. Chia pudding with berries is a quick, healthy, and delicious snack or breakfast option that's ready in just 10 minutes, plus chilling time. Chia seeds, when soaked in liquid, form a pudding-like texture that's both creamy and filling. Topped with fresh berries, it becomes a nutrient-packed treat full of fiber, antioxidants, and healthy fats. To make, combine 3 tablespoons of chia seeds with 1 cup of your choice of milk, almond, coconut, or dairy. Stir well, then let it sit for 10 minutes before mixing again to prevent clumping. Cover and refrigerate for at least 4 hours or overnight. Once ready, top with a handful of fresh berries like strawberries, blueberries, or raspberries. This quick, nutritious pudding is a perfect way to start the day or enjoy as a light dessert. Spicy roasted chickpeas. Spicy roasted chickpeas are a crunchy, healthy snack that's easy to make and packed with flavor. These chickpeas are roasted until crispy and seasoned with a bold blend of spices, offering the perfect balance of heat, crunch, and savory goodness. They're great as a standalone snack or tossed into salads or grain bowls for an extra crunch. Start by draining and rinsing a can of chickpeas, then pat them dry with paper towels to remove excess moisture. This helps the chickpeas become extra crispy when roasted. Preheat your oven to 400 degrees Celsius 200 and line a baking sheet with parchment paper. Toss the dried chickpeas in 1-2 tablespoons of olive oil, then season with a teaspoon of paprika, garlic powder, a pinch of cayenne pepper for heat, and salt to taste. Stir everything to coat the chickpeas evenly. Spread them out on the baking sheet in a single layer, ensuring they aren't overcrowded for even roasting. Roast the chickpeas for 25-30 minutes, shaking the pan halfway through until they're golden brown and crispy. Once done, let them cool for a few minutes before enjoying. The result is a delicious, crunchy snack with a perfect mix of spice and flavor. These spicy roasted chickpeas are a great go-to for healthy snacking and are quick, simple, and delicious. Crispy sweet potato. Fries. Crispy sweet potato fries are a healthier, delicious alternative to traditional fries and can be made in just a few simple steps. With a golden, crispy exterior and a soft, tender interior, these fries make a perfect snack, side dish, or even a light meal. They're quick to prepare and packed with flavor, making them a great option when you're craving something crispy and comforting without the guilt. Start by preheating your oven to 425 degrees 20 degree. Peel and slice 2 medium sweet potatoes into thin matchstick-sized fries. The thinner the fries, the crispier they'll be. Toss the sweet potato slices in olive oil. Then season with salt, pepper, and a pinch of paprika or garlic powder for an extra flavor boost. You can also add a little cayenne pepper for some heat if you like. Spread the fries evenly on a baking sheet in a single layer, ensuring they're not overcrowded to allow for even crisping. Bake them in the preheated oven for about 20-25 minutes, flipping halfway through until the fries are golden brown and crispy on the edges. Serve your crispy sweet potato fries with your favorite dipping sauce, such as ketchup, aioli, or a spicy sriracha mayo. They're easy to make, full of flavor, and a healthier alternative to traditional fries. Thank you for joining us on this quick culinary journey. These 30 dishes are perfect for anyone who's short on time but still craves delicious, satisfying meals. From fresh salads and savory snacks to hearty comfort foods, each recipe is designed to be simple, healthy, and ready in just 10 minutes or less. Whether you're cooking for yourself or sharing with friends, these dishes prove that fast doesn't mean compromising on flavor. So grab your ingredients, fire up the stove, and enjoy these easy, tasty recipes whenever hunger strikes. Happy cooking!